And there you are. We're live. Welcome in. Give us just a brief moment, people, and we'll go live with you. But welcome in to Anything Goes.
Glad to be here.
That's why I do drink on the job. Of course.
Cheers.
Okay, quiet on. Yeah, amen. Okay, quiet on the set. Let's play this out. A glimpse of stocking was looked on as something shocking, but now God knows anything goes. And the cultures too, who wants to better work now overused for better words writing prose. Anything goes.
Rapidly.
Yes, if you're looking for a riveting show, keep looking. This is Anything Goes with Bremer and Jones, where, well, anything goes. Sit back as Bremer and Jones chat with people about, well, just about anything. So crack open a cold one, pour something over some ice, pull your masks down, and enjoy Anything Goes with Bremer and Jones right here, 21.6 The Net. She's
Woo!
Bremer.
Hi.
I'm Jones. Tonight, we got a guy named Frank. Frank, welcome in, brother.
Howdy. Good evening, all.
Frank.
I decided to do a little Broadway with the opening this morning.
I liked it.
Hola, ¿cómo está?
Yeah.
Muy bien.
Hold on. Let me just adjust and get the Espanol on there. And he is sexy like a Latino show. Any Latin show is sexy. Do you ever notice
Latin
that?
shows are hot.
I don't understand.
Latin men are hot.
Yeah, I don't understand anything they're saying, but I sit there and watch it for hours. Like,
and you get excited too a little
these
bit.
people are pretty.
They're pretty.
They're absolutely. Ted, how are you? Look at that. Ted Legal jumps in. Nice.
Hey, Ted.
Frank Hostek, a good friend of ours. If you are from the McHenry area, which obviously, well, 1.8 million of you probably aren't, but if you're from the McHenry area, you know him because he was the postmaster for several years. Then he built and ran and was the new membership director over at the McHenry area chamber. Now he's
sucked me into the chamber.
Oh my God, he's a good salesman. And now he is entrepreneur extraordinaire, semi-retired. But Frank, tell us a little bit about what you do. I'm just going to adjust the volume. If I step off a screen, don't panic.
Okie doke. So, got a couple different things going on. Hostika Insurance Group. We offer some insurance type products, legal services, identity theft solutions, life insurance, long-term care, disability through Hostika Insurance Group. And then we have Simple Solutions virtual assistant services, which is primarily my wife, my lovely and talented better two-thirds, Christina.
Say that again. Say it again all together.
Simple Solutions virtual assistant services.
Okay, thank you.
And that's primarily my lovely wife, Christina. She's the creative end of that. She does the graphic design, makes things look pretty, does the social media postings and all that stuff. But then we also do some other busy work to help busy people get their time back. So those self-employed people that kind of bridge that gap between you need an employee, but you don't have enough to keep them busy. So how do you get the work done? You hire a virtual assistant. We can get some of that work done for you. You can hire us for as little as 4 hours a month.
Wow.
That's cool.
That's really good, actually.
Can I hire somebody to come to my house and organize my house?
Yeah, for $4 a month.
For $4 a month?
I need
No. 4 hours, not $4. 4 hours.
Oh, sorry.
It's a smidge more than $4 an hour.
It's fine.
Yeah, it must have got lost in translation.
Yeah.
Now, before we really jump into what's going on with Frank, and if you keep kind of glancing out the window, it's because his neighbor's turning 90 today. And there's going to be a big celebration and a bunch of people singing to him, "Happy Birthday." Unfortunately, Oh my God, we lost him.
Seriously, is this a new show?
So anyway, you got to turn.
Frank, come back.
You gotta come
You
back.
unplugged your device, Frank.
That's just great. So while we've got the time alone, Don, some big news over at the Bremer team.
Big news today.
Huge.
Biggest news since we started. And
Hey,
what is
Lisa.
that you said?
What is that big news?
My big news is that the Bremer team, Keller Williams North Shore West, has now become Keller Williams Success.
Success.
Easy, one word, Keller Williams Success.
Boom. Drop
Boom.
the mic. Don't drop these mics. They're
I'm
old
not
and
gonna
they're
drop the
cheap. I
mics.
mean, Tim will
So-
tell you, we bought them on a shoestring 3.5 years
Seriously.
ago. We're glad that they're still working.
Yep. So you'll have to stop by. We have new signs, and we also took over the space next door.
There he was. Then he went away again.
We took off over the space next door.
Yeah, so you guys have expanded not only in square footage.
Correct, but in teams. So we now have 9 buyer's agents to serve you.
So just before a few days ago, even 2 months ago, you had how many people humping for you?
We
3,
had 6.
4, 5, 6? What was it?
We had 6. We've hired 3 new agents in the last week.
There we go.
He's back. So yeah, I just saw.
Don't ask me to point my camera out the window to the crowd of people sitting.
I don't think we asked.
I did. I was in the green room. I was like, "Hey, mate, you should put that on." So yeah, we'll just know that that's going on. But so now you're up to 9, and you just brought in Tony,
Denise, and Tammy.
Denise and Tammy. Now those are 3 individuals. They're not a singing group. These are realtors.
That's right.
Yeah.
Real estate brokers.
Yeah.
And so that is what has happened. So we are now Keller Williams Success.
That is exciting.
Same service, just different location for our brokerage.
Yeah.
And you now have 9 agents working for you.
9 agents as a team, as a buyer's agent, which means all of our clients can get serviced. We will never be able to not show you a house in this market when houses are going in 6 hours. You want to get in? I have 9 agents who can get you in.
Let's squeeze you in.
I'll squeeze you.
Listen, for those of you listening out there, to the millions of fans, I want you to understand, this is a big deal. She was already a big hitter, and now she just made herself even better.
Thank you.
That's huge.
Thank you.
That's
We're
huge.
excited. We're excited. More opportunities gives us more opportunities to give back into the community, which you know is my passion.
Yeah.
So we'll be filtering that money back into the community.
I think that's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, how do they find you?
847-456-6334. Check out our new video on Facebook at the Bremer team. We will be starting this Friday showing our new introductory video with all of our agents at the outdoor movie theater, which you'll see in the previews. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's if you're looking for a hero, you might have found
Anyway,
one.
let's get back to the Frank.
Listen now. Here's how impressed I am with a Frank Hostica. Frank, of course, is. I mean, he's wearing purple. I mean, he jumped right in.
He matches the
And,
purple
I
background.
got the memo.
Yeah, which is outstanding, which I absolutely love. So, Frank, what I want to do in 2020, and here's what I love about you and your beautiful bride is through the pandemic, you guys chose to say, hey, people are going to be working remote. It's going to be a little bit weird. So let's take a look at Simple Solutions virtual assistant services to help people out, business owners, small business owners, big business owners. So how does that work? We know you help them free up stuff, but exactly kind of explain to me how that works.
Okay, well, great. So people have a certain amount of work they got to get done. Think about the things you do during the course of your day, everything from returning phone calls, the emails, to posting things on social media. Maybe just staying in touch with clients, sending them a card, sending them a birthday card, an anniversary card. Hey, thanks for setting an appointment with me, whatever the case may be. It's just staying in touch with people. We can help you do those things. If you think about how many hours you spend in a day doing all the little tasks that go into what you do, how many of those tasks are time consuming and don't net a lot of on their own a lot of revenue for you, and or they're things you just don't like to do. Farm those out, outsource those things to a virtual assistant that we can do remotely for you. So we've got clients that we send out birthday cards, anniversary cards, thank you cards, just staying in touch with people. We can do direct mail. We do their social media posting.
Wow, nice.
Design stuff for a couple of massage therapy places. Natural Therapies is one of our clients.
And they are a sponsor of our show.
Big sponsor here. Yep.
Yeah. And so we design some of their social media posts and put them on Facebook for them or other social media sites. And then we can do some not bookkeeping type work, but record keeping type work. Keep your database up to date. Yeah. We've got a couple of clients that they've got services that they auto bill every month, and people auto pay every month. Well, sometimes that card gets declined. Somebody's got to chase that down. We get the notice when a card gets declined for a service, and we contact that person and say, hey, your card just got declined. We'd like to get a new card on file, da-da-da. Anything else we can do for you? Any other information to update? So we've got clients that we do their database management. Just keep things current, keep everything up to date. There's a lot of little tasks that can get done, and they in and of themselves don't take a lot of time, but the cumulative time of those tasks, some of those, especially ones you don't like to do or aren't good at, hire a virtual assistant to take care of them for you.
So are you the guy who calls me about my extended warranty?
No, that I you don't have any clients.
You were
those are usually robocalls, Ken. We haven't got a client like. I'd love to have a client like that. Just sit here and auto dial all day. Hi, but no, similar type thing on a smaller scale. We're going to reach out to someone's client and say, hey, just reaching out on behalf of
the Bremer team.
Yeah, the Bremer team, and just checking on things, make sure everything's okay. Want to make sure we have the contact information correct. Have you been getting our newsletter? Would you like to get our newsletter? Just things like that. Yeah. A friendly voice, getting in touch with people is one of the services we offer. But
so you're really you are a virtual Miss Hathaway.
There you go.
Right? For all you kids out there, that was a Beverly Hillbillies reference.
Oh, for
I could almost talk like her too. I don't have the accent down. Didn't she have kind of an English accent?
Yeah. She was very proper. But how do you? All right. So it's very interesting to me. But how do you reply back, or how does the Bremer team know you're not just taking their money?
Well, we report to them on a weekly basis, or whatever the case may be. Obviously, they can see if we're doing something on social media, they can see our stuff on social media.
Yeah.
If we're sending out cards, maybe not so much. Other than they might get a call from somebody and say, "Oh, thank you so much for the birthday card.
Love you guys. Oh, you're great. Thanks."
Yeah, or stuff like that. But other than that, no, it's kind of based on trust. But again, it's what it's all about. We have a pretty good reputation, and our clients are people we know, like, and trust. We're not. Some people equate virtual assistant with somebody sitting in a little cubicle in a foreign country.
Yeah.
Not only a couple time zones away, but a day away, time zone wise, and who doesn't speak very good English. No, you've got English speaking people.
We love you, people. We have listeners all around the world. We absolutely love what you do.
Well, no, but I'm just saying.
Absolutely.
That one guy who's always talking to us.
Gary NG from the Philippines.
Gary, right?
Gary.
I know those people too. I've listened to enough of your shows. I know he's out there. But but you're getting people that will talk to people and they're in your time zone. So it's easy to stay in touch and keep on top of it. And of course, when we're working on stuff that's like kind of database driven, obviously when we get the work done, we send you back your spreadsheet or your database, and you can look at it and see, hey, it's been updated. Or, oh, somebody's card that got declined now got paid. So the results are there. So
what is the price range for something like this? I know you can't talk of exact price range.
So I mentioned earlier, minimum 4 hours a month, not $4 a month. 4 hours a month, that's less than $100. So depending on the type of work it is, how technical it is, creative, and so on, it ranges anywhere from $35 down to less than $20 an hour, depending on what it is you want done. And then we have some flat rate stuff for particular projects. Like you want a logo design, we'll design your logo for $199.
Woo, nice.
You want some graphics designed for social media, we'll put together some social media posts for you for 5 of them for $49.
Nice. Yeah, no, that's gorgeous. Of course,
we're built on being affordable because we understand the people, our clients, people we work with, our chamber members, small business owners, people just getting started, and we understand when you get started, there's a lot of money going out and not a lot coming in.
Absolutely.
So we're very conscious of that, and we do our best to make ourselves affordable to help people out, and and still be able to use it.
Yeah.
So.
And a listener out there, Tim
Stewart.
It says, "Great guest. How do you afford such amazing people?" Actually, Frank lost a bet.
Yeah,
he's supposed to be singing. He's supposed to be singing "Happy Birthday" across the street.
I think I answered the phone.
Yeah, right. That's it. Yeah. He was hoping that we were looking for a virtual assistant.
He was like, "Oh, maybe you can."
That's it.
Can we have a virtual producer?
What do you do?
Where is he?
All right. So as this gets rocking and rolling, and you're doing this, you also find time for Hostika Assurance Group, where you guys do some financial work with life insurances, things like that, as well as identity theft and whatnot. Tell me a little bit about that. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing to me if you've got literally 10 customers you're virtually assisting for. That's going to take up some time during the week,
right?
And then you've got this. Now, keep in mind, he's quote unquote semi-retired. They are right, semi.
I was going to say I don't know any part of them that is retired.
And how many rounds of golf have you gotten in this week already?
None this week. But it is only Tuesday, Kent.
That's right.
And it's going to be, and it is pretty nice this week. So yeah.
And they show you can be anywhere in McHenry and pop and bump into them.
Yes,
to be anywhere.
It's so true.
Mysteriously just bump into.
No, I didn't know you were in the area, Frank.
Green Street Cafe a couple Saturdays ago, huh?
Yeah. And all of a sudden, I walk into Green Street Cafe, and there they are.
No
call. They didn't call me. Did they call you?
I didn't get a message.
You didn't get a message they went to?
All right. So seriously, here's how this works. We have a list of people that we reach out to when we're coming to town.
We're not on
that list. And when someone says, yes, I'm available, that's where we stop.
Yeah.
So
what number, how do we find out if we've made this cool list and what number we are on this list?
You're on the list. It's a matter of it's random.
You're cutting up, Frank.
I'm on the list, or he's on the list.
You're both on the list, but it's a matter of when.
Look at that. We made the list.
It's very random, though. But we do call people. So when you saw us, Dawn, we met with Kay Bates.
Yeah. Oh, I remember Kay.
Called her up, and said, "Hey, you available Saturday morning? Let's meet for breakfast."
Gonna be in the area. Yeah.
Yeah. So the night before, when we got to town, we stopped and visited friends of ours who happens to be my financial advisor as well. So it was a good opportunity to stop and check in on some things and visit with them. The lovely Diane Dunlop. And
love the Dunlops, yeah.
And but we try to, and then of course we've got grandchildren. in town still. So of course that's the primary reason for coming up there is to visit the grandkids.
That is the
I
number
have to
one.
say something about these people.
Please
They're
do.
phenomenal grandparents. I hear all the stories. I see all the pictures.
Go on,
They're always
Faith.
got grandkids. Listen, from a person who could maybe have some improvement in the grandparent department for their children, I acknowledge that you are a phenomenal
Well,
grandparent.
thank you.
Here's
You're
a
welcome.
great idea: virtual grandparents.
I would take you. I would hire you for that. My
Right?
kids,
I mean-
especially my youngest, he is just desperate for a
Listen,
good grandmother.
just need you to FaceTime my kid, read him a story before he goes
I mean,
to
I
bed.
would actually hire my own mother to do
Yeah,
that.
here's
She's
Grandpa
to be
Frank.
virtual.
Your assistant, your virtual grandpa.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know, why not? There's virtual dates. I mean,
That's-
how are you?
I mean, why not? Is there a virtual dates?
I don't know. All right. So when we talk about Hostica Assurance Group,
Right.
the particular
Thanks
piece
for reeling it back in.
yeah, the particular piece that I'm really interested in is the idea. You've got identity ID. What is it called?
ID Shield.
ID Shield, and you help protect people's identity
That is
and
correct.
Or
And-
unemployment benefit claims.
and help them get out of yuck if their ID has been or their identity has been stolen. Correct?
That's correct. So and I've been working for Legal Shield / ID Shield for about a dozen years. Started that part-time when I was still with the Postal Service. Little part-time direct sales gig to generate another income stream and have something to do when I retired. And then after I retired, kind of really accelerated that. But so Legal Shield, the company, has been around for over 45 years.
Yeah.
And back in the mid 90s, that's when identity theft was really becoming a thing. And so they developed a program called ID Shield to help people recover from identity theft. So yes, you gotta do your best to prevent it from happening. But hey, I've got the service myself. I was still a victim of identity theft. Someone filed an unemployment claim in my name. They can't, and we'll be the first one to tell you, we cannot prevent it from happening. One of those other companies out there that we won't mention their name, they got in trouble a dozen or so years ago for claiming they could prevent it from happening. You can't. So that's the first thing you got to remember is you can't prevent it from happening. All you can do is minimize your risk and be prepared to take care of it when something does happen. So that's where having a product like ID Shield comes in. Because yes, we're going to do what we can to minimize your risk, keep an eye on everything for you, monitor not only your credit, but your driver's license, your bank accounts, unemployment, court records, payday loan sites. We're going to monitor all those things for your name, your social security number, your other personal information that may pop up. When we find it, we notify you, hey, check this out. Is this you or is this activity that you don't know about? If you see that it's something happening that's not you, you call into the 800 number. They connect you with a private licensed investigator who then goes to work on your behalf to do whatever it takes for as long as it takes to restore you to pre-theft status.
I have a question.
Sure.
So I have a 17-year-old son who started working, so his social security number has been out and about. I was taught years and years ago by a really good financial person who stated that when you have a child of maybe 15 or 16, especially when they're getting ready to drive, that you put them as a signer, as an authorized user on your credit card so that it builds up their credit so that these kids at 18 have some sort of credit. So I've been doing that. My son's on 2 of my credit cards, which I pay off monthly, so whatever. I'm now concerned that he has such good credit that I'm concerned that I would never even know until he actually uses it if somebody was charging his credit card or had stolen his identity.
Right. Children are a big target of identity theft. Why?
See, that was a good question.
They've got clean records. So child identity theft is a big problem. And so again, with our service included in that one price for an entire family. Not only do we cover the adults, mom and dad or domestic partner, whatever the case may be, but we'll also keep an eye on your children's social security number and their personal information. And in the event something comes up in their name, obviously you get notification about it, and we'll do whatever it takes to restore them to pre-theft status. Because a lot of children, the first time they find out that there's a problem is when they go to get a driver's license, or they go to get a student loan, or a bank account, or try to get a job, and they find out that someone's already been using their information for years and has made a mess. And now they got to try to sort it all out, and it unravel it, and it may be years and years old because it may have happened years ago. So,
how do you spell your son's name?
Jones.
So, and listen, folks, it must be 9 to 10 years ago now, my identity was stolen. We took our taxes down to our accountant, and the accountant does the taxes, gets ready to do the electronic filing, and I get a call, says, "Hey, Kent, you've already filed your taxes this year." And I go, "I'm sorry, what?" He goes, "You've already filed your taxes. Looks like you're getting bloppity-blop for a return." I said, "What?" I said, "You file my taxes. I don't know anything about taxes." So come to find out, somebody out in California had stole my social security number, my identity. Got a job and was doing that. And I want to tell you, I didn't know Frank at that time for Identity Shield. But the interesting thing is to go through and get everything removed off of your credit that was out there. Painstaking.
Did they catch the guy?
Difficult. They don't really tell you because it was the IRS. We've got the information, blah 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 blah. But now every year that I do my taxes, the IRS has to send me a PIN number.
Yep.
To verify that it's me. So when my accountant does the taxes, he's got to include this PIN number to for the rest of my life to verify that it was me.
Yeah.
And it's not but the idea is when I went through and contacted people who this person built credit with and whatnot, and good, bad, and different, was to say, this isn't me. They don't want to hear that. Yeah, it is.
No.
Yeah.
Hey, that's like when you get pulled over by the cops and they want to serve you with a warrant. Sorry, we're pulling you over because we've got a warrant for your arrest, and you tell them it wasn't me.
Right.
I think the cops probably heard that a few times.
Yeah.
That day.
Yeah. Right.
And Kent, I know with a unique name like Jones, it probably doesn't come up that often.
No, can't. That's very Welsh.
Listen, you can joke all you want, but I just found out there's another Dawn Bremer in McHenry. Like, how is that possible?
In McHenry?
In McHenry.
The town's not big enough for more than one of you.
Seriously, I want to find this person.
Maybe I've got the wrong.
You can.
How do I know it's you then? That's the real question.
No, seriously though, we're making some light of the situation, but no, it is serious. I would tell everybody, Google your name, see what comes up, see how many people have your name. You'd be surprised. Frank Hostica is not a very common name. I didn't think there are 5 or 6 Frank Hosticas in this country.
Yeah, it's weird. I actually only found out about it because I went to the rec center and I didn't have my card. And they were like, "Are you the one who lives on this street or this street?" I was like, "Shut up. There's not another one that goes here yes, there are 2 in town, 2 different addresses." Or somebody stole my identity.
She's got a ponytail and a beard.
or using somebody else's identity.
She's got a ponytail and a beard.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, but if all they've done with your identity is go get a membership at the Park District.
I know, right?
Right.
Okay. Now, let me ask you a question in all seriousness. So I have I subscribe to TransUnion, that program, and I get an alert every time my credit is run, and I get an alert every single time. How is that different than what you do?
That's a great question.
Leave it to you for these great questions.
It's very different, okay? Because credit is just one way people can tamper with your information and use your identity for unlawful purposes or for monetary gain.
Right.
Your credit's not going to get hit if somebody goes and goes to get a driver's license. Would be an example.
Huh. Interesting. Yeah.
If somebody's already got your information and now they get pulled over or they get arrested for something, and now there's a court date for whatever it is they got arrested for, that's not showing up on your credit report or in TransUnion because there's no hit to your credit. But yet, when that court date comes and goes and that imposter didn't show up in court, guess what? Now there's a warrant out for your arrest because you failed to appear in
Knock on
court.
your door. That's right.
That'd be
And then it knocks on your door. Or that police officer that's just sitting by the side of the road randomly running plates as they go by and runs your plate and they run your plate and it comes up warrant. Whoop, they come and pull you over. Hi, we've got an outstanding warrant for you. Please step out of the car. Keep your hands where I can see them. Officer, you must have made a mistake. This wasn't me. Yeah, okay, sure, lady. That's the same thing the last person told me. Out of the car. Okay. So there's a lot of things. Medical identity theft. Somebody can using your information and go get the vaccine or go get some other kind of medical treatment using your name, your social security number. That's not showing up on a credit report.
Well, listen,
Wow.
I actually have a friend, a very, very good friend of mine. We went to a fitness place together a couple of years ago. They had a chiropractor that was renting space. And he said, you work out there, you come here and you get your back adjusted. We'll just bill your insurance. So she was doing that for, like 6 months. Well, then she really got hurt and she needed to use her physical therapy. Whatever you have a certain amount of physical therapy.
Yeah, right.
And she got denied because they said that the chiropractor charged for x-rays and myopathy or something and all these things. He had saying he was doing ultrasound and he had used all of her physical therapy for the whole year and chiropractic. And she went to him 4 times. So the FBI and the Department of Health and Human Services came. He actually was arrested, and she never got her benefits back for that whole year, even though that he was arrested and charged.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it does happen.
Yeah, and that's from a dishonest medical practitioner.
Correct.
So now take that and add to it some dishonest person who can't get medical care because they don't have insurance or whatever the case may be, and they utilize your insurance to go get care somewhere. And now that's showing up. Not only is that showing up on your medical record, okay, what if that person is allergic to penicillin and you're not? Now, when you get rolled into an emergency room, your records are showing that you're allergic to penicillin. Or your records are going to show you got the vaccination, okay, and you haven't yet. Or you have.
So how do you monitor that?
By having a service like ID Shield or something similar. There are others out there, but having something like that keeps an eye on everything. Beyond just your credit.
Yeah, that's amazing. And Don, probably the first thing that I would say is when the chiropractor is smoking a cigarette outside the door and then is adjusting you in the back of his van, that might mean that he
had a room. He had a room.
That's it.
Jerk.
Hello, Facebook user. How are you today? We got a Facebook user. First one in. I appreciate it. So that's interesting because when you think of identity theft, everybody thinks of credit cards or your credit. I didn't even think about that. I mean, and you think about like my wife, who is allergic to some medicine, and if somebody steals that, they could kill her.
Yeah.
That's a serious deal. And your TransUnion, the ones with it's Tim Santos. Hey, buddy, those people. I mean, that's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah.
So it's good to monitor your credit. I would tell everybody you can get a free credit report from each of the 3 credit bureaus once per year. So I would encourage everybody to go on annualcreditreport.com and pull a credit report from TransUnion, in January. And then in April or May, pull one from Equifax.
Yeah.
And then in September, pull one from Experian. So now throughout the year, you've pulled all 3 credit reports, which you're entitled to once a year for free, and take a look at those credit reports and see what's on them. While they all share information back and forth, okay, so what's on one should be on the other. It takes a while for that to catch up sometimes.
Yep.
If throughout the year you check all 3 of your credit reports, you can keep an eye on your credit that way.
That's
okay?
great.
Hey, Frank.
Now, the thing is, so what if there's something on a credit report? How do you deal with it? Deal with it yourself? Spend
Hang
time
on just a minute,
Sure.
Frank. We've got a ton of people listening out there on the radio, and I
Okay.
posted a couple things up there. But if people want to get in touch with you, how do they do that?
My phone number is 815-347-0181. And our website, you can just go to the website is simplesolutionsvas.com. And obviously there's a contact us button on there you can click. And of course, my email is frankhostica@gmail.com.
gmail.com. And of course, we got to give a shout out to the people who are financially supporting the show. Do you want to?
Natural Therapy Wellness Center. They do massage therapy, reflexology, acupuncture, Thai yoga massage, and much more. You can reach them at www.mchenrymassage.com, 815-385-8190. Natural Therapy Wellness Center.
That is beautiful.
That's pretty good. Huh?
Yeah, and they are all licensed massage therapists.
All licensed massage therapists.
Get rid of some stress. It's great. All right. So you were saying the way to get rid of that, or the way to deal with it if it does happen to you, is after you're done crying and drink heavily. What?
So then you got to get on the phone and start making phone calls and filling out paperwork and all that to try to dispute things that are on your credit report. Whereas if you had a service like ID Shield, you pick up the phone and you talk to a fraud specialist, and they'll go over your credit report with you, and they will then work with you and for you to remove things off your credit report that don't belong there.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. We have a question from somebody who's listening. They said, can you possibly, if you know, explain the differences and why your credit report is different at all 3 different places?
Because typically places that report to a credit bureau don't necessarily report to all 3. They report to one. And then it's on the 3 credit bureaus are required to share that information with each other. But sometimes that takes a while for it to get back and forth and get around. They've got 60 days to keep their records current.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shayna says, the guy Frank from the movie Catch Me If You Can suggests freezing credit until needed. You should know. Lols. Yep. Great topic. That's what Pete always says, lols.
That is true too. You can freeze your credit.
Right.
That will minimize that from happening. Absolutely.
Why there's a couple reasons why we have Frank on here, and you're going to notice a little twist with anything goes is we're starting to bring people in who give back a lot to the community, and Frank has volunteered so much of his time and effort for the McHenry area. It's just amazing. But this is a real deal. Identity theft and whatnot, and basically with what Frank offers. It doesn't just monitor your credit. I mean, it monitors you. It monitors your vitals, your Social Security, whatever. If something happens with that, this company is going to say, whoop. Now, here's the other thing, folks, is you spend money. People spend a lot of money on homeowners insurance, auto insurance. People spend a lot of money on life insurance. People spend a lot of money to protect for catastrophic things. Yeah. Yet they won't work with somebody to protect their ID. And that is, if you were to ask me, and I never thought of it, with medical or getting, somebody steals that and gets a driver's license. I mean, when mine was stolen, there was obviously a me driving around in San Jose, California.
It was you, be honest.
Yeah.
What I also love about this is when you said that, it's one cost for the whole family.
Yes.
I like that idea because I do worry about my children's identity. I do very much so. I recently pulled my son's credit score and it was like 790. Like it's a great credit score because he's 17 years old and he has 2 credit cards that are used and paid each month. So he's built a great credit report. That would be something I'd be concerned about, that somebody would take his history.
Yeah.
And he's going to go to college next year and be applying for loans and whatnot. And I don't want to wait until he gets denied from a loan to be able to tell, who's been hacking it.
With as successful as the Bremer team is, there will be no loan.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's really not.
High profile target.
That's right. Truthfully, right?
But interesting that you mentioned that, Dawn, that, because he's got a high credit score, he's more attractive to thieves. The thieves don't discriminate.
No.
They don't look at that. That's like, because I've heard that from people. Oh, nobody would want my credit. My credit's so bad. No, believe me, they want it. Why? Because they can do things with it regardless of your credit score.
That's a good point.
So it's not like they're grabbing your information and then checking your credit score before they decide whether they want to use it or not.
Right.
They're grabbing your information and they're going to find a way to use it. Remember, crooks are creative.
Yeah, my score had never been higher when that guy stole it.
Okay, so my next question that I have is, how much is Legal Shield for monthly monitoring?
Okay, so ID Shield for one adult is between $12 and $15 a month, and we'll cover a family for less than $30, so $25 to $30 a month.
So that's Netflix and Hulu.
Yeah,
that's your streaming, right? Now, here's the other thing to all of our listeners out there. So here's an important thing. It's not kids. It's not the working class. Right now, we've got a lot of sandwich, people, and I'm taking care of kids, but I'm also taking elder abuse right now is at an all-time high.
Yeah.
So you can also help out your folks with this. Let me tell you, there is nothing more frustrating than perhaps trying to find long-term care for your parent, and their identity has been stolen. I mean, it happens. And
it does.
Phone calls, everything. They get these people. Elder abuse is just crazy.
It is.
Am I able to, if I do the family, am I able to put my mom and dad on it or no?
They would have to have their own plan.
Okay.
Okay. A family is an adult, 2 adults, the traditional family of 2 adults, but you don't have to be married. It can just be a domestic partner.
Sure.
Or significant other, but then we'll cover the children that live in your household as long as they're never married up to age 26. We'll cover them under your plan.
Yeah,
so,
I think that's awesome.
Your mother's over 26.
Yeah,
but once so then you cover them individually for another $12 a month, or if both your parents are still alive, obviously they can get a plan. I would tell them to go each individually.
Literally, I do a flower subscription for $15 a month, right? I mean,
that's true.
Why not?
Flowers are nice.
Why not just? I can throw it on my grave, right?
Seriously,
right?
God forbid.
I'm just saying, right?
I hate you.
But so the interesting thing is, you can sleep well at night knowing that
peace of mind.
Yeah, that's you. Now, Shayna has a comment here. I read that identity theft criminals wait sometimes 3 years before actively using it. It might make a good Mother's Day gift. Is that right? So they go in, maybe buy it.
That's wonderful. They can buy it for their mother for Mother's Day. That is, and yeah, there is no time limit. You're in for. Think about it this way: since you were young, you've been giving your information away. It's at every school you went to, every bank where you've had a bank account, utility companies, wherever you rented an apartment, so on. So your information's already out there everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not like the thieves are coming and stealing it from you. Your information's already floating around everywhere. It's just a matter of where that thief is grabbing it from. So when they use it.
So The best thing that happened to me is if you Google Kent Jones.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to do it.
This
Yes.
is the best thing that ever happened to me. Go ahead. Google Kent Jones. Just
Kent
straight Kentjones.
Jones. Okay, what am I looking at?
What's the first thing that pops up?
American rapper.
Hey, right there. Thank God for Kent Jones.
What is Kent Jones' net worth? $2 million.
And that's because I rap and not presents. Kent Jones.
Well,
Kent
there's
Jones.
somebody in town that does that. That does
Praise.
the rap.
I used to be the #1 Google search for Kent Jones just because of Kent Jones. But Kent Jones is a supreme rapper in the music industry.
Yeah. Now, if you put in Kent Jones, I won't tell your town to the 1.8 million people. It says mortgage planner.
Hey, how about that?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh, it gives me your address.
Oh, yeah. No, just stop by.
I
we'll
mean,
talk.
seriously, why does it give you your address?
That's what Google does. That's what
give
Frank's
out
saying.
my address. You need this life lock.
Yes, that's what Frank is saying.
Email.
Your information's out
I
there.
literally right now Googled you and I got your phone number, your address, and your email
What phone
and
number
where you work.
What phone number are they
Do you
using?
want me to say
Yeah,
it?
go ahead, it's fine.
815-334-9523.
Oh no, that's no. that was one in, that was a landline a few years back.
Okay.
But we don't have that landline anymore. So
okay.
That was 334. That's a Woodstock number. So there you go. So I mean, do that. Do it for your kids. Do it for your parents. Do it for yourself. It's amazing, as Frank said. And look at the information, right? And with that too, guess what, folks? You can find out what my mother's maiden name was if you dig enough, right? And mother's maiden name, a lot of times credit cards use that or whatever as a question or whatnot. So trust me, they can dig up anything on you, and they can absolutely run away.
It also has another number for you.
Crooks are very creative.
What?
815-861-0294.
Yeah, that's mine. Go ahead, give me a call.
And it tells you your address.
Yeah.
It tells you. Yeah. I mean, I could tell you what car you drive, apparently.
What do we got? What are we driving?
A 2016 Dodge Dart SXT.
I just traded that in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, look at that.
Yeah.
See, folks, this is why we need Frank and ID Shield, because I apparently can find everything out about you.
Of course, my birthday is in July, so you can send gifts.
Fine. You've got his address. You've got his date of birth.
Seriously.
Send me a present. That's it. Yeah. So, I mean, and that's not even the white pages. That's just a straight Google. Boom. There it is. So what Frank does, I mean, and understand, going back to the first part of the hour, is helping small businesses virtually as an assistant, doing all the things that, I mean, kind of boggle people down and tie them down. If you're a salesman or whatever, allows you to get out there and do your job and sell, which is needed today. Which is, I think that's fantastic, number one. But this Frank, I know you're passionate about it, and it is something to me. It's just amazing, and you turned a few switches on for me that I didn't even. I always think credit.
I always think credit too, which is why I brought up the great question that he said I had
about
TransUnion. Did you remember that was the best question?
That was the best. You're the winner.
Thank you.
Tonight.
I'm the winner.
I couldn't have wrote it any better myself.
Yeah.
If I had written questions for you to throw at me, that would have been one of them. So great job.
Thank you, Frank. Thank you, Frank.
And
Thank God he's the producer and I'm the star. Thank you, Frank.
She is the talent.
For you folks listening at home, this is totally unscripted. Right off the cuff.
Anything goes.
We didn't plan any of this. They know how to ask great questions. They always do.
Thank you, Frank.
Anything goes. Now, do you get do you get statistics or anything? Has there been an uptick in identity theft with the pandemic going on? Or
yes, exact number wise, I couldn't tell you. But has there
7,
been uptick?
right?
Absolutely, and the majority of that has been in unemployment claims.
Wow, yeah. I actually had
one. You've had one, right?
Yep,
and somebody else I was just with said, I just got an alert about my unemployment claim, and I was like, "Oh, you're unemployed?" And he was like, "No, but apparently I'm unemployed."
Yeah, because again, why? Because they're giving you a bonus on top of normal unemployment. So that's an incentive for the thief to go out there and apply for benefits in someone else's name and see if they can collect a few unemployment checks.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I actually know someone who worked for a larger company, and the claim got filed and went through their HR office, and it got approved, and someone was collecting money.
What? Really?
Because typically they get caught, but not always. I mean, they can slip through.
That's crazy. And so how did you stop yours?
I call, call the police, do this, do that.
Right.
I called the IDES, and they're like, well, do this and this, and immediately thereafter I got a decline letter. Yeah.
So first of all, my employer at the time said the claim was false. I contacted IDES and told them it was a false claim. And then I called my ID Shield specialist, and they sent me a form to fill out to send to the IRS. They sent me another form that I took to the local police station to file a police report. And then I sent a form back to them so they could do some more digging on it to see what they could find out, see if they could find the source of it and do all that stuff. Because that's the other thing with a service like ours. If we do catch the thief, which is really difficult to do these days with everything being done electronically, but if they do catch the thief, we will prosecute.
That's awesome. Absolutely.
So, and you don't have to do all that.
Right. Thank God. Ted Legal says, I had someone from Texas try to buy a car with my credit.
Yep.
Hopefully it was a Cadillac. I like Cadillacs.
You're so crazy.
Yeah, it can happen.
Yeah, and it's a real deal. It absolutely is. So when we're thinking about everything that the hostickers do, what's next? What does the rest of 2021 hold for Frank and Christina? And are you going to continue to give back to the community? Now you live in a new community. Are you going to start doing some volunteering and whatnot there?
We're getting involved with the now that things are opening up a little bit more, because we've been here. We moved out here last June, and while things were more open than they were in McHenry, still a little bit shut down. But now things are opening up a little bit. Getting involved with the Downtown Business Association, because it's a smaller town. They don't have a chamber.
Really?
Involved with the Downtown Business Association. And
how long until you give them a chamber?
How long
until that town has a chamber with you and Christina?
They're done that, huh? Yeah.
I'm not going down that road.
Let's talk with them in a year.
But I'm getting. My neighbor was trying to encourage me to run for mayor. I'm like, no. No.
I think Sheriff Andy. I think that would be
Sheriff
good.
Andy.
But no. So just that, and just enjoying some free time, enjoying the neighborhood we live in. We live in a little condo association neighborhood here, and so getting involved with the homeowners association a little bit, doing a little of the volunteer work on that, and then trying to we split time. We trade off between going to church with our two sons that live out here. We go 1 week, we go with one. Next week we go with the other one and his family. Still trying to settle on a church.
Nice.
That we want to get involved with and maybe give them a little time as well. But yeah, so that's about it. And then, heck, I still come up to McHenry. We try to get up there at least every other week. It's only a couple hours away. We didn't move that far out of town. And come up there to see friends and still get involved. Still chamber members. So we're still involved with the chamber, whatever's still out there virtually we're doing. And then, like I said, we've got a son and daughter-in-law with two lovely kids up there in McHenry, so we come up there to see those grandkids and our other friends.
I know you lost your golfing partner. Are you going to be part of the league, or?
I'm going to be a sub, so I'll be out there subbing because my partner, my partner's playing the country club in the sky.
That's right.
So yeah, I would have needed a new partner had I stayed on the league, but I'm going to be a sub, so I'll be up there. I'm hoping to get up there again, like I said, every other week. Come up on a Thursday, sub for somebody on the golf league, do a little networking, hang out, take Dawn to lunch.
That's right.
Hey, there you go.
That's right. Better show that call.
So we've got about 5 minutes or so, 5-6 minutes. But I want to update everybody. Last week we had Kevin Santapadre on. Kevin, Frank, if you recall, is graduating from Millersville out in Pennsylvania with 2 degrees, and he is walking the Pacific Crest Trail, 2,650 miles. To raise awareness for pediatric cancer.
Yep.
He's going to be documenting the whole thing. He's doing a documentary on it, which is absolutely fantastic. Last week, we were able to, and thank you to our listeners, we were able to raise $1,100 for him.
Correct.
And what we need to do, he wants to get to $2,650, $1 a mile, to help defray some costs and to donate to pediatric cancer.
Correct.
If you go to GoFundMe and you search Kevin's PCT, so Pacific Crest Trail, you can go in there and help this young man out as well. But I wanted to give you an update because my heart is moved that a young man would take 5 months out of his life to do something to raise awareness for such a great cause. And
to honor his best friend.
To honor his best friend, who he buried on his on Kevin's 17th birthday.
Right.
So what a great 17th birthday to put your friend in the ground who died of pediatric cancer.
Again.
And if you want to give to a good cause, if you want to do anything, go to GoFundMe, search Kevin's PCT and help him out. It's moving. It's incredible, and it really shows people who think young people today don't care. This kid cares.
And let's just also talk about the fact real quick again, because I was so moved by this kid, that he is graduating with a double major in 3 years.
3 years.
3 years, 2 degrees, magna cum laude.
Yeah.
Magna cum laude, which is 40 credit hours a year in 3 years with those grades.
That's insane.
This man is going to change the world, and we're going to remember his name.
I started college in 1989. I still don't have a degree.
I mean, I also started college in 1989 and don't have a degree.
So, thank God.
The biggest losers.
I know.
On
that's
21-6.
Hey, I got my degree. It took me 5 years to get my 2-year associate's degree, but I did.
But you made it through.
I made it. And just think, this guy was taking us, which we've never done. 2 years,
I know.
3 years.
Right. I mean, third grade was the longest 5 years.
That man is
going
to change the world. So please go and donate. You can also see his Facebook, his GoFundMe page on my Facebook.
Yeah. So, Frank, I think the world of you. I absolutely. I was 7 in 1989. Thanks, Tim.
Is that from Tim Santos?
Yeah.
I am so never speaking to him again.
Boy, you were young going to college.
Wow. He did not. He's not. He's kidding, right?
No,
baby.
He is kidding, right?
7. No.
Tim Santos, are you kidding? Just say yes or no.
No, he's not. So listen, and with all seriousness, we got about 3 minutes. Frank, I appreciate who you are. I admire you for what you've done here in the community and what you continue to do. Just absolutely admire you and your wife, and blessed and humbled to be able to have you on with us here. Anything goes.
Okay, I appreciate it.
You guys are some. He's not kidding.
What I'm really trying to do is get a free lunch next time.
He already put me ahead of you. I'm on the list ahead of you. But no, Frank, for me personally, you got me involved in the chamber. You actually reached out to me and told me to get involved with MC5. And then became the president of MC5. And I don't know how long I've been in MC5. It feels like 40 years. But, you really did help me make a name for myself in the community. And so I always am going to be grateful for you for that.
Well, thank you. And that's why some of the things I do, that's what makes it all worthwhile. When you see the result of some of that activity, those little things you do that come back around and make a difference somewhere. So last words from me to the audience: keep supporting local things like 216net. Shop local, spend your money locally.
Call the Bremer team for a realtor.
Yeah.
Scott Giles graduated college in '89. You are
There
old,
you go.
Scott.
And
Man.
shop local, support local, shop the McHenry Chamber, support the McHenry Chamber and all those.
I love Tim. Just a Facebook user says Santos Agency loves Frank and all he's done for us too.
Absolutely.
Everybody loves some
just
Frank.
a great plug.
Yeah.
So once more, Frank, if somebody wants to get a hold of you for anything, how do they do that?
815-347-0181. They can call or text that number or frankhostica@gmail.com. Find me on Facebook. That's the easiest thing to do, but call me.
Make sure it's the right Frank.
And of course, going forward, if any of our listeners out there know of anybody who gives back, has a neat nonprofit, or somebody who just enjoys giving back to the community, get it in touch with us, because we'd love to have them on Anything Goes. We really just want to highlight a lot of people who give back to the McHenry County area, and just praise them for what they do. So it's that time. Frank, thanks so much. We'll see you next time you're up in town.
Love you guys.
Yep. Have a great night. And hey, everybody, thanks for tuning in to 21.6 The Net, getting caught in the net with us. We're very humbled and grateful. For Anything Goes with Bremer and Jones. She's Bremer. I'm Jones. We'll see you next week.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Bye, Frank.